Today I'm here to make training easier for you. I have my schedules all ready and I'm going to show you how you can install them and start using them straight away. My name is Daljit. Welcome to the show. Hi there, I hope you're having a good day. Yes, it's time now to share those training schedules with you. Now, if you are a Mac user or a Windows user, I'll explain exactly where you need to go. Now, if you're a Windows user, you're gonna have to download your schedules. Once you download your schedules, you should see these 7 schedules, right? So I want you to download all these 7 schedules and I want you to put them into your schedules folder, which you will find in Documents Sports Interactive Football Manager 2021 schedules. If you don't see the schedules folder, just go ahead and create one. If you're a Mac user, well, for you, you need to go to Library, Application Support, Sports Interactive Football Manager 2021 schedules, and do the same thing. Now, if for some reason you're a Mac and you can't see application support, what you need to do is click on the Finder, hit the Option key, go down to Library, and then you start from there. Then go to the Application Support folder and work your way down to Sports Interactive, and you should get in there you should be able to get in from there. Once you've installed them to your schedule folders, you go to Custom Schedules, import your schedules. You should see them all in there. So all you got to do is pull out one of them. I'm going to just pull out the first one that you'll be using at the start of the season. BTN Bootcamp, load that up, confirm, and save. Once you've imported them, you should see them all here, and that's how you install those schedules. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to go to the training rest, and I want you to go and set these things up. Now, this page basically automates the training intensity for individual players. The training intensity for individual players should not be any higher than heavy. So when you go to an individual player and you check him out, let's say we go to this player, you will see his load is over here. This says his individual training load is medium. Now I've set my training schedules up in such a way that you can afford to give them additional focus and even train individual player traits, and you should not be seeing very heavy individual training loads, right? So this should be fine. As you can see here, he's doing additional focus. He's on automatically they put him on normal intensity because we have actually just finished the match, and it's gonna be fine for him. So it's really easy to set up. So don't forget, just go to training, go to rest, and use this and automate it. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to click on this button. Make sure that everybody's on automatic. Once they're on automatic, you should be fine. Remember, whenever you use your scroll wheel mouse button, it might accidentally change things. So like it just did for me. That's the second thing you do. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to go to units, right? Now, this is very important because if you have a specific player and you want him to improve his attacking attributes, make sure he's not in the defensive unit, because the training benefits depend on the units they are in. So go in there and make sure that you've got the right players in the right units. You can also add and remove reserve team players to strengthen units that are already very weak. You don't want a unit to be too small. You want enough players there for them to benefit from the training. And I typically just make a note of all the top youngsters that I want to bring through, right? So sometimes this is one of the reasons why I like to add notes. So if you want to go to a specific player in the under 19s and you think he has got loads of potential, all you got to do is go in there and go to this, like this player, for example. All I've done is Control K, and I've created a note for him. He's a future first team player. So he's got this yellow dot on the screen. So if I ever need to push him into the senior team, or I want to, track his development, it becomes really easy. Very, very efficient. I find that to be incredibly makes my life incredibly easy. All right, so that's basically the first 2 things that you want to be doing. Now, once you set your coaches up, you set the units up, and you automated individual intensity, the next thing you do is you go to your training calendar, where you are going to start looking at setting up your training sessions. Now we get to training. I want to keep things simple. I'm just going to break this down into 2 phases. The first phase, your team is learning tactical familiarity. They're coming to terms with the tactic. You're building team cohesion up. The second phase, tactical familiarity, has been reached. You want to focus a bit more on the growth and development of your players. So these are your two broad phases. Within the first phase, we are going to break it down into the first week and the rest of the period. So during the first week, all you're going to do during the first week is you're going to have something called boot camp. Now, boot camp is, I recommend boot camp only for 1 week, because during this time, you want to push your players as hard as you can so that they can get fit faster. So what you want to do, you do this for the first week. Endurance, resistance, endurance, just use this session. It's a very strong session. And once this session is over, you never use it again, right? Now, even if there is a break in between, right? Like you have some leagues where you have an in-between period where your teams take a break for two weeks or 3 weeks. Don't use it there as well. There's no point. Once your players have finished boot camp, you're entering your second phase. Your second phase is when you want to gain tactical familiarity. So you're going to be using this session. This session is very broadly focused. It covers all the elements of tactical familiarity, and your players will also be getting ready for matches. Now, which are the elements that give us tactical familiarity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these elements give us tactical familiarity. We also have attacking movement, teamwork, and defensive shape. Attacking corners, and defensive corners. We have too many attacking corners. We can actually put something else inside here, which also helps with team bonding. Match practice. You can have match practice like this, or we can just swap match practice to this day and make this even heavier. So this is actually a very good session because it allows your team to learn the individual roles. On top of that, team cohesion is greatly increased, right? So you want to add this in, and they can also work on their roles, and they will gain tactical familiarity. This gives us attacking corners, teamwork, attacking movement, and defensive corners give us our bonuses for an upcoming match, and I can't stress how important this is at the start of a season. You always want to get off to a good start. And these elements here, these blue ones, these give you a tactical familiarity as well. So defending gives us pressing intensity and marking. Attacking gives us creative freedom. So all you got to do is just check all these, and it'll tell you exactly which areas of tactical familiarity they are going to focus on. Now, you use this until your team gains tactical familiarity, and there's a specific point you want to stop it at. So how do you know when your team is gained tactical familiarity? All you got to do is come to this bar, mouse over it, and it will tell you whether your team has gained familiarity in the main levels. Ignore position, role, and duty, because every time you move or rotate players, that gets affected. So you only want to focus on mentality, passing style, creative freedom, pressing intensity, marking tempo, and width. Now, what's the fastest way of getting this done? You play with one tactic, use the same 11 players, but that's not ideal. We like to rotate our team. Some of us like to have 2 tactics. So if you like to have 2 tactics and you want to get both your teams familiar with both systems, then generally you might want to use the session I just showed you, or you just want to adapt it to include more mentality, position, role, and duty, familiarity, training sessions. However, it's easier just to use the schedule I just showed you. You can still achieve the same from that schedule. You can't be worried about this bottom bar for every single player, because different players are going to reach different periods of familiarity with the tactics depending on how you've used them. However, if you bring a new player in and you want to make sure that he's part of that team for the near future, that means you have plans on using him until the end of the season, then you want him to come to speed quickly. So if you want him to come to speed quickly, it helps using that balanced schedule just a bit longer till this player reaches familiarity, or you have match practice, attacking movement, and defensive shape in every single week schedule. He will get there in time. Once you've reached tactical familiarity, then you have 2 options. You can either use a very lazy approach, which is what I do, or you can be a bit more focused. The choice is entirely yours. I have this approach, which is my one training to rule all training sessions. And incredibly, this is a very focused training session, which also covers a large number of attributes. It is also incredibly balanced. This means that I can go to my individual players and assign them individual roles. Now, what if I don't assign them individual roles? Does it really affect their development? Well, to some extent it might, but you're not going to fix it with a training schedule, right? That's going to be, you're not going to fix it by some fandangled training session, right? In order for you to get the best development for your players, ideally, you want to choose a specific role for them to play in. The best way of doing that is to actually train them in the role you want them to play. Now, For the more advanced players, they probably have a better idea of how they want the player's development to be focused, depending on how they see the player in the next couple of years. Now, for them, of course, they know what they're doing, so I'm not going to explain what they should be doing anyway. But this is meant for those guys who are not too sure about training schedules and need to import mine. So you can use this schedule for the rest of the year, and then all you got to do is go to your players and set individual training, and you're done. And you can stop watching the video now. I'll see you tomorrow on my live stream. You're still here. Okay, I guess I have to come up with some more stuff, right? All right, okay. Now, if you're the sort of person that wants to be a bit more, funky, with your training sessions, of course you have another option. You can do something like this. This is a defend pure schedule, meaning we've gained tactical familiarity and we're just focusing on defending attributes for my team. Now, this is the thing I like about this schedule. Defend corners is going to hit the whole team with heading, marking, anticipation, concentration, and positioning. So the whole team is going to improve in this. This is incredibly good for those guys who like to do gegenpressing, because for gegenpressing, even your winger's marking attribute is considered when you want to, track players and mark them. So it's got all the necessary attributes for defensive development, and it has got these 3 sessions in there for individual role development. So it's pretty balanced. You can't go wrong with this. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with this. Now, so this is a defense schedule, and you can use it as often as you want. I mean, if you want to put it to, you want to use it for 2 weeks because you feel your defenders need more work, then you can just use it for 2 weeks. And finally, we have, not finally, but then we have the attacking pure schedule, which focuses on chance creation and off the ball movement, basic movement and, finishing as well. So we got chance conversion here. As you can see, this is all for the outfield players who are expected to do something with the ball. Once again, we'll match practice here, attacking movement and defensive shape for individual roles. That's taken care of. Now, of course, you can put in match review, but as you know, I can't stick in match review here because you actually need a match to do that. I know some of you ask me, I noticed you don't have match review. I do like match review. I want to put it in, but you can't assign it until you actually have a match. So when there's a match, I let it come in. My next session is a lazy match prep. It's pretty straightforward. It's for 2 match weeks. And it's already inbuilt with individual role development plus upcoming bonuses for matches. Now, if you have a 3 match week and you want to set it up, then ideally what you want to do is, you don't really want to train your players. You just want to prepare for the matches. So then you just be using match preparation activities and, cutting off match practice and probably just sticking with either attacking movement or defensive shape and 1 or 2 match prep sessions. You can't do very much for 3 match week sessions. Seriously. I mean, honestly, yeah, give your players a break. Okay. For the last session, we got lower league, right? Now, lower league, people have asked me many times, what should I do for lower league training? Now, lower league training, normally we don't have many options, right? So what I normally like to do for my lower league is focus on physical development. So I will do an overall schedule which focuses on everything. Give them match practice. This too also gives me tactical familiarity. Then I work on physical. Now, this physical one, it really depends on which area I want to focus on. Sometimes for those of you who are more focused on building endurance, stamina, natural fitness, and work rate, you might want to go for endurance. Some of you might want to go for acceleration, agility, and pace, so you only focus on quickness. So it's entirely up to you. But this will be the schedule that I'll be using for lower league. Even defensive corners, I probably won't change that as well, because defensive corners works on the whole team's heading, marking, anticipation, concentration, and positioning. Or if you want to be focused on just scoring away and beating everybody, then heading, anticipation off the ball for the whole team. But I generally find this is okay. Anticipation can help your defenders, and off the ball can help your strikers. Whereas defending corners, anticipation and positioning. So it depends on which angle you want to work on. Both are just as good. This video was meant for those people who need a handle on training, right, and help. So I've created this complete training schedule, which should make things a lot easier for you. If you just want to use one training schedule, go with it. And you just have to choose individual roles if you want to. If you don't want to, then it's fine too. So yeah, the complete training schedule is already balanced enough, and it's not too intensive. So you can afford to give your players additional focus training, and the schedule should still be medium, right? So they're fine. Can you extract more from them? Then you enter the territory of wanting to, master training. And for that, you have to spend a bit more time playing with the training schedules. you probably can, which is the reason why I've got that defending schedule in there for you. I've got the pure schedule in there for you for the attackers. It gives you a chance to experiment when you want to. And what about youth training? Well, honestly, leave it to the ass man. Just leave it to the ass man. Pick your players and give them individual role training if you want, because the youth training schedule is already okay. You can tweak it, but it's not like you're gonna suddenly turn them into superstars because you made one tweak to the tactic or the schedule rather. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show and found it useful. If you do find the show useful, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank everybody who supported the channel, Patreons, those guys who view the show, those of you who have kept the ad blockers off, all of you, you're in my heart. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know it's a bit early, but I know everybody's already in that kind of a mood. So you guys take care, have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.